We've been doing reporting for a number of years. I mean, our company is 90 years old this year. And we started combined reporting in about 2002. And then I think it's about 2.5 years ago, someone said, there's this international pilot program, let's join. And our finance director gave the go-ahead, and we came to the first conference. And that really was an eye-opener on how to improve your reporting, because integrated reporting for us is how to best be transparent to our key stakeholders. As a state-owned entity, we have that accountability to make sure that we tell the right story in the best way possible. Our finance director, who's really responsible for our annual report, said, go to the conference and join the pilot. When we came back, we formed a steering committee. It's a subcommittee of EXCO, so our EXCO really supported it. And we've got various EXCO members on our steering committee and various individuals from across the business. And I think it just grew from there. As they started seeing the results, our board members are very happy with what we produce. We've won numerous awards. I think in the last 2 weeks we won 2 awards back home. So, and that also helps getting that recognition for all the hard work you put in. But I think in the end, all of our board members and EXCO members in the company, we just want to be transparent and tell the true story. And I think that's what we're achieving with integrated reporting. I don't really think it was hurdles. It was just more sort of us working through the process. One of it was really the practical side of it, how to best pull these reports together, what's the best technology out there to help produce that report. Because with all the various reports and us wanting to improve it, you can't really just stick to the old do it in Word, have 7,000 versions. So we've really been struggling and working hard on getting the process and the technology in place. And then it's just how do you make it more concise? How do you make it more, how do you bring your point clearer? It's just a continuous, how can we make it better? There's a difference between making people do it and getting people to do great reports. And to do a great report, you really have to be passionate about it, want to do it, understand why you want to do it and what you want to achieve, because you can tick the boxes and say, I apply, or you can really do a great thing. But I think there's, like we saw today, there's pros and cons and different views. But I do think I agree with the panel this morning, it's inevitable that it will be regulated across the globe. I think at Eskom our story is a little bit different. Just before I joined Eskom, the board and the EXCO put a lot of effort into integrated thinking, coming up with our strategic plan, how to integrate those objectives. And so a lot of that work in integrated thinking happened long before we actually heard about integrated reporting. And I think we were in a very privileged space as the reporting team, that a lot of that hard work was already done even before we heard about integrated reporting. So it was how to get that message across. But I do think it helps us in our reporting to have better quality reporting and supporting our board and our executive committee by making sure we give them the quality reporting, focus on the right things for them to really say, are we achieving, are we not, and what we have to change going forward. I think step one, decide as a company we want to do it. Be clear on what you want to achieve and why you're going to do it. And then go for it. Really leave behind your traditional reporting and don't stick onto how we used to do it in the past. Be open, take risks. Obviously make sure that you don't get your company into trouble, but really take risk about being innovative, being creative, thinking different on how you put things in a report. And you can really do that if you're like us and you have the support from the top. But I think the best is start with a report. You're not going to have the perfect report in year one. It really takes practice. It takes learning from what you've done. I mean, I look at last year's report and I'm like, well, last year I thought it was the best report ever. I look at this year's report and I'm like, that's like 3 times better than last year. So it's really just, it's it's a cliche to say it's a journey, but I think this is the one time I agree with it. Practice makes perfect. Get feedback from your stakeholders, from your team, from your leadership, and just continue to grow. Look at examples. The Black Sun database of examples is brilliant because you don't have to read through lots of reports. You can really look for an example on the one thing that you struggle with, and just be passionate. It's a great thing. I'm an accountant, so it's a bit more interesting than just preparing a set of financials. I think everyone. I think the company, the leadership, the people, the investors, providers of financial capital, key stakeholders, because everyone that's interested in a company wants to know something. And if you do your integrated report right, you will make sure that you tell your story on your terms. You don't leave people open to create their own perceptions and to make up their own stories. So as a company, it also really gives you the control on how you tell your story and make sure that you inform people out there, and that you really make sure that you are clear and that people say, well, I trust that company, they're transparent, they don't lie to me. If they said something this year, I know it will either happen or there will be a very good reason for it not happening.